So, I'm here to talk to you today about why recently I can't fucking stand the Warframe Dojo community, and I think a lot of you need to shut the fuck up. Honestly. In particular, we're going to touch on the recently removed decorations that were just added with the new war. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there were two sets of decorations besides the Narmer decorations that slipped it into the game. They were the Grenier Sea Lab decorations, and then we received a number of Earth nature decorations. And these slipped in under the PH tag, meaning placeholder, meaning that they weren't quite ready yet. And then about 2 days later, they were removed in a hotfix, where DE just said they simply aren't ready yet. And so they were removed from the game. Anyone who placed them still has them. They can even duplicate them still, but the rest of us will not have access to them for some time. Now, this, of course, sparked some controversy in the microscopic dojo community because you had your toys taken away. But this and so many other things that we're going to talk about, but this specifically, let me just explain why it's so fucking stupid to bitch about that. So most of the time when we get decorations, we find some that are bugged, that can't be removed, that scale larger than the sun. And then those are decorations that DE did think were ready. So can you imagine what's wrong with the decorations that they already acknowledge were not ready? Like, how do you not see that? They released them by accident. It happens, shit slips through on main lines, and it just wasn't meant to be there. Complaining about it being removed is moronic. You should not. Shut the fuck up, please. Now the next thing I want to talk about is player expectations, specifically dojo decorators, when it comes to what DE should add. Because I've had so many arguments in my Discord about this, and it's tiring, and I hate having this conversation over and over again. But the premise of it is people will get upset and say, wow, why hasn't DE added water yet? Like, what the fuck is DE doing? And this is the second update in a row that they've borked scaling, and they keep fucking up, and blah blah blah. And one person in the Discord said it's like they're trying to compete for the biggest fuck up, and that was just such a fucking dumb thing to say. And I'll just kind of tell you what I told one of these people. Dojos to DE are like a box of crayons that they gave to a 5-year-old, which is us, to keep us distracted for a moment. These box of crayons were not meant to do anything significant. They weren't meant to stick around or do anything crazy. And those were dojo decorations. And then we, the 5-year-olds, came back with that box of crayons and somehow created nuclear fission. And DE is like, what the fuck? Because that's an accurate depiction of how dojos and decoration have transformed in today's setting. DE did not intend for people to do exactly what they've done. They were so surprised when people started creating the things that they've seen and the things that you are amazed by today. And so it's amazing what people can do with dojos, but it's also a key part of decorating that if you are going to participate in it, you need to acknowledge what proper expectations actually are for the entire system. Dojos are something that they go out of their way to add things to or make changes to, but it is by no means a priority to them. No one should expect AAA studio support for dojo decorating. This isn't Space Engineers. This isn't Minecraft. This is an Ark Survival Evolved. Dojos are never going to be the main point of the game. They will never, ever have a full spotlight or their time in the sun. Ever. If you think otherwise, that is wholesale insanity. It does not earn them money. It is quite literally just a content island time sink for people who are dented in the skull enough, like you or I, to actually spend time on it. What else do you expect? There's people that will, like... Yes, it's frustrating that DE fucks up, okay? With dojos, like, I get that. And I'm not saying that you can't acknowledge that it is stupid, because sometimes they are pretty fucking dumb with what they do. There are things that obviously just weren't tested, and it's okay to acknowledge that, and it's okay if you're not completely happy. But if you're getting to a point where you are actually upset that DE doesn't make your made-up, unrealistic fantasy standards for the development process, you should move on to a different game. There's quite literally no way that you are ever going to be happy with that, and you're just going to perpetuate the circle jerk of hatred that surrounds Warframe. Because for some fucked up reason, the Warframe community can be really cool, but there's also like a large part of it that thrives off of just hating the game, and I don't understand it. And I've had some discussions with some people on that recently, like Life of Rio. Half his videos are just clickbait fucking hate. But people buy into that. And a lot of people are like, oh, there's no way that'll succeed. But people keep watching it. And it does succeed. And like an actual reasonable way to succeed in the content creation for Warframe, like the community of content creation, is to just fucking rip on the game. And that's a valid way to succeed. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Now, someone's inevitably gonna say, oh, Vash white knighting DE. And no, I'm not saying that you can't hate some of their decisions, and I'm not saying that you can't disagree with some of their decisions, but there's quite literally an aspect to the community that their content is questioning every single step that DE takes. And I cannot fathom being DE and tolerating that shit. I don't know. Just dojo decorators, while I despise a large portion of the Warframe community, and if that triggers you or alienates you from me, then fuck yourself. Recently, I have come to loathe a large portion of the dojo decorator community. There's too many people that are filled with unrealistic expectations, and they're trying to take that out on DE, and you guys legitimately have no say in their development process. Your expectations are unrealistic, and it's just bullshit that I don't need to see, that nobody needs to see at all. I don't know. I think everyone can do better. Everyone.